Good evening, everybody. It is your boy, Heaven Hollywood. And we're back here live on the IE Network. Man, a lot of stuff going on here. Shout out to everybody who's watching on Twitch, right? Who's watching on the IE Network YouTube. What's up? It's crazy. What's up? Keisha, you finally caught it live. What's up with y'all? Man, oh man, oh man. What is going on? So, check this out. So y'all give me 1 second. Let me know if you can hear me. Can y'all hear me? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me. 1 2 1 2. What about now? No more echoes? All right, shout out. Kia, Tox, Mia Moore, girl Keisha, Brown Girl. It's going nuts. What's happening? What is happening? Man, we got to get right into it. We got to get right into it because we got a lot to cover. But we're going to get right into the shits, right? Keisha, YouTube, shadow band, Hev. Oh, yeah. So I don't know what's really going on. But everybody, please hit the like button as you come through the door. Nicki Minaj is going off, right? She's going off on social media. People are saying that SZA responded back to her because she started on TDE. SZA's saying that she wasn't even talking to Nicki Minaj, but Nicki Minaj fans said yes, she was. Also, Doechi looked like she caught a shot. At least the Doechi fans were saying that Nicki Minaj was shading Doechi. I see SZA said 4 hours ago, let me go back to being calm, shy, and meek. Right? DJ Academics tried to get into it. Well, you know that he's going to have something against SZA. He's always had something against SZA. And the only reason why he stopped and got off of SZA is because Drake told him to. But now that SZA has turned on Drake or what have you, this is nuts. This is nuts. So now we see. Let's try to go back. Let's try to go back and see what exactly happened. right? Now, Nicki today, we're going to start off with Nicki Minaj, right? And then we're going to go to the other stuff, and then we can go back to Nicki Minaj. So now she's on TDE. I believe it was Punch who she said something to. Now, over the last 3 or 4 days, Nicki Minaj is pretty much, she's now seems to be invested in the whole Desiree thing with her daughter. I mean, I don't know why. That's one thing, like I said, one thing that I wish Nicki wouldn't do is like when Cardi got into it with Jade and the other girl, she went and jumped in and invested in them. Then she kind of did the same thing with now that this guy, Rymir guy has a lawsuit against Jay, like then she goes and follows Desiree's daughter. Hey, pay for their lawyers. Rymir needs a lawyer. There's no way that Rymir is ever going to get this this paternity test. Remember, he has no lawyer. Maybe Nicki will pay for his lawyer. This thing with Desiree Perez, this little battle of beat that she has with Desiree Perez and Rock Nation or what have you. I'm staying the same place I was on that. Right? When people say, oh, if somebody owed you $100 million, hell, you'd be going off too. No, I wouldn't be going off. I'd be taking them to court. Me personally. Now, I'm all for if someone owes you money, I don't care if somebody owes me $100. If somebody owes me $100 and they've owed it to me for a long extensive time, I'm taking your ass to small claims court. I don't give a damn. Unless you have a reason why you have not paid me back, I am taking you to small claims court. What I'm not going to do, and maybe Nicki Minaj handles things different. What I'm not going to do, I'm not going to get and go back and forth with your ass on social media. I'm taking you to small claims court. And that's for $100. If you've owed me $100 and you have not explained to me or had a good explanation on why you have not given me my money, your ass is going to end up in small claims court. So I'm all for if Nicki Minaj, and I've said this from the beginning, if she says that Jay-Z legitimately owes her money, it don't even gotta be $1 million. Hell, it could be $100,000. It could be $50,000. I don't give a damn. If you have legitimate proof that Jay-Z owes you money, by all means, sis, get your money. Get your money. Jay-Z only answers to people who file lawsuits. As you can see, he wasn't answering to Rymir all these years. Rymir files a lawsuit, he answers. He was just ignoring everybody else. He ignored people that calls him Camel. He ignores people who said Beyonce didn't have her kids. He ignores when people say that Blue Ivy's not his kid. He ignores all those things. He ignored all the things Jaguar Wright said until she popped up on Piers Morgan, something that could hurt his bottom line, and then he opened his mouth and responded. So as far as her going at Jay-Z and Rock Nation, like I always said, that's like throwing a rock in a ghost town. It's at the end of the day, she's doing it for her justification. Maybe she wants to vent. Her fans get a big kick out of it. Oh, she got a foot on Jay-Z's neck. But Jay-Z's never going to respond unless you come with some paperwork. Now, you come with some paperwork, he'll be forced to respond. And if that dude owes you, like I said, I don't give a damn if it ain't $100 million. I don't give a damn if it's $1 million. I don't give a damn if it's 100,000, if it's 50,000. If he owes you any amount of money legally, you should take the nigga to court and get your money. I'm all for that. I'm all for that. If he owes you money, take him to court and get your money. Nobody should go with someone owing them money, especially someone as rich and established as Nicki Minaj, someone that's a rich and established as Jay-Z. But for you saying he owes you 100 million, you're gonna have to go to the court, with the proof that he owes you 100 million, and you're gonna have to let them know how exactly you came to that number, right? You're gonna have to let them know how you came to him owing you between 100 and 200 million. That's all. And if you can produce that, by all means, you should get your money. I have no problem with that whatsoever. Now, I don't have a problem with her ranting, to be honest, but I just don't think that's going to do anything. Because people have been ranting at Jay-Z for 25 years. Dame Dash has been online ranting. Choke No Jokes ranted at him. What's his name? DeHaven has ranted at him. People has called him out over and over and over again. This ain't the first time Nicki called him out. But the way Jay-Z moves is, if I owe you 100 million, spend your money, file your paperwork, come to court, and then maybe I'll have Alex Spiro come and answer me. If you present enough paperwork to get my lawyer to answer, right? And that's the way him and Beyonce's always moved. All the things that they said about Beyonce, that's not really her kid. She didn't really have a baby. She's got a surrogate. Her baby, her stomach folded. She's a witch. She worships the devil. She did all those things. She burnt down that house in New Orleans. She ruined Carrie Hilson's career. She ruined Anne Marie's career. She ruined this one. So everybody that always says those things, she's never responded. Kanye West called her kids the R word, and they didn't respond. So they're not going to respond online to this. Yeah, MIA, that's good, Keisha, good catch. MIA is ranting. He's not responding. He's not responding to MIA. Oh, MIA said something like, "Oh, Rock Nation owes me money." I think she said it before too. Go to court and get your money. If you feel as though you have proof, and Nicki Minaj is not a dumb person. I'm sure if there is any sort of paperwork to be had, Nicki Minaj is a businesswoman. She's been a businesswoman for a long time. So I'm sure whatever papers she needed to sign, she signed. What a lot of people, let me explain to what a lot of people are talking about. What a lot of people are discussing when they're saying, "Oh, she's on camera signing her contract." If everybody is up on it, Steve Stout, right? Let me see if I can find that clip. Steve Stout said she didn't file her paperwork, right? A lot of Nicki Minaj fans are saying she's right on camera filing her paperwork. But that's not what Steve Stout was referring to. He wasn't referring to the paperwork when she first signed on with Tidal. The paperwork he's referring to is for the payout, all right? For the payout. And according to Steve Stout, and we haven't heard Nicki Minaj's side, is according to Steve Stout, right? So We're gonna see what Steve Stout had to say. I'm gonna try to share the screen. Hold on a minute. I'm gonna try to share the screen with Steve Stout and see what Steve Stout had to say. Hold on here a minute. I'm sure y'all have heard him make these comments before.
In the Super Bowl decision, I look at something like what's going on with Diddy.
Hold on.
To me, that's more of a black eye for the hip hop community.
Let me share. Hold on. So of course, people said that Steve Stout had commented and said that Nicki left millions. Because remember, at first they said she said they offered her $1 million, right? Steve Stout said that she left millions on the table because she didn't sign her paperwork. Now, Nicki Minaj has stated in public that they only offered her $1 million. Now, is this true? We don't know. We don't know if that's true or not, right? But this is what he said. Let me try to find it. It is. And he was responding to, I believe he was on that podcast. I believe maybe it was Ryan, the football player guy. Maybe it was Ryan's podcast. Let's go here and share the screen. What's going on with the beef with Travis Scott, Jim Jones, Pusha T, and his brother? I don't know. I have to look into that. What's going on with Travis Scott, Jim Jones, and Pusha T, and his brother? I'm hella lost this beef. Me too. I'm gonna tell you, man. There's so many beefs going on right now. I've just lost track. Right? There's so many beefs going on. I've lost track. I really have. So many beats going on, I've lost track. This was Steve Stout.
And that was really it. We had a house, and we were going to Catholic school, and outside of that, shit was meager. That's where the money went.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier sort of the black eye on hip hop culture when Nicki may say disparaging things about Jay, who has opened up a ton of doors because she feels a certain way about the way at least the person she considers her mentor has been treated in the Super Bowl decision. I look at something like what's going on with Diddy, and to me, that's more of a black eye for the hip hop community culture. It's more of a black eye for us as black men. When you see what he's done, when you hear about what's been found in seizure, how do those things sit with you, or what are your thoughts on the way that it's revealed who he was and how people perceive the entire culture of hip hop because of?
Let me find the Jay-Z part. Like, I don't really care about.
I think it's fair to say that he had a drug problem. He has a drug problem. He hasn't come out and said it publicly. He had a drug problem or has a drug problem.
Hold on.
But
I'm
like,
gonna find the part
foremost,
about Nicki
I think
Minaj.
it's
I don't
clear
really care about
at this
Diddy
point.
right now. I'm all Diddy'd out.
It's fucked up that somebody who's that iconic, we've never seen anything like this before. Somebody of that stature, fall.
StreamYards really, really messes with me. It really messes with my soul. I hate it. Right? Because it's always buffering. Hold on.
From grace. It's not seen that before. So trying to digest it all, I mean, to the point where they denied him bail. I mean, that's what they denied Harvey Weinstein bail. They denied the kid who hung himself, Jeffrey Epstein bail.
Yeah.
So it's like they're putting him in that category, you know? And it's tough to see because now you know the person, you've seen the person, you've interacted with the person. That's the last thing you expected. So everybody's, you know, the jokes in the beginning was the jokes in the beginning. And then when the tape came out, it was like, oh, shit. What the fuck? This is not like a sexy, freaky party, Rick James, bitch, type of thing. This is really bad. It is definitely a black eye for the culture. And the most important things here is his kids, you know? They lost their mom. Now their dad is going through this. And when you break everything back down to the kids, you think about a family and what's the results, and what is that going to lead to when you have a mom who passed away and your dad is this public figure who's now in this situation. So I feel for the kids.
I think the hardest part is obviously when you're speaking of Kim Porter, the rumors that if you pay a little attention to what goes
He's getting
on
to Nicki
in hip
Minaj
hop,
shortly.
there's always been rumors that Diddy was a certain way, and he was a certain way, like he lived a certain way. And then now that you get proof that some of those things are true, I couldn't imagine looking at my parents or losing my mother and seeing my father now go through this. But every time you hear about these things and we start connecting the dots, there's always somebody, there's a Steve Stout or there's a Jay-Z or somebody that's like, I never even saw that. Like, I didn't know that. Okay. You got to see an ugly side of him, though.
Sorry about that, guys. This is not the interview. I thought this was the interview where he spoke on it. But we all know, everyone's seen the interview, and what he pretty much said was Nicki didn't sign her paperwork, right? Nicki Minaj then went back at him and was like, yes, Negro, yes, I did sign my paperwork, right? Let's see. Maybe they responded to it. Cameron and this one. Fell because Jay-Z's right by opportunity. Okay. But anyway, we pretty much have known, we've already seen it. We know what he said. So she came back out last week, and her gripe, of course, is with Jay-Z. It somehow, I thought it was 2 million, then it became 100 million somehow or another. But if Nicki Minaj says he owes her 100 million, then I guess until it's proven otherwise, I guess she said what she said. But my whole thing is, I would just rather, let me see. Yeah, I would just rather her take the car. And Nicki likes to say no one is talking about it. Well, no one's talking about Jay-Z and when's it. Well, I'm telling you, and I said this before. I'm telling you, Nicki, I guarantee you, if you take Jay-Z to court and you show up in court and you're suing him for $100 million, I guarantee you, I can guarantee you on my mama, everybody will be talking about it. Everybody will be talking about it. But they're not going to talk about you on social media because, number one, you always do that. So it's really like not nothing new. And Jay-Z never responds. So, of course, a lot of people aren't going to be talking about the Desiree thing, right? Because to be honest with you, I'll be honest, I never really heard Desiree Perez talked about so much. You know what I mean? I don't even know why anybody would want to talk about Desiree Perez. She's heavy on the eyes. I've never liked Desiree Perez. She's not nice to look at. Like, she doesn't really do anything, right? So I don't even know why she would even waste time talking about Desiree Perez. When she said, oh, how come nobody's talking about Desiree? Because they never talk about Desiree, really. I never really see anybody talking about Desiree Perez. But I guess Nicki wants people to talk about, wants people to talk about her daughter, Demarie Hadley, I believe her name is, suing her. So Nicki wants to know, how come nobody's talking about? So let's try to find Nicki's tweets. What she said today, as far as SZA goes, and I believe earlier, and I'll let people know where the Doechi fans and where the TDE fans felt as though she was referring to Doechi, because a lot of people say, well, Nicki wasn't even talking to any of them. They jumped in her business. But I'm going to let y'all know why Doechi fans think that Nicki Minaj was talking about her, right? So let's see if the tweet is still up. Because y'all know I notice everything. So I'll break it down to y'all. So I'm on Nicki's tweets. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go to the replies. So earlier she was talking about TDE Punch. I swear to God, I didn't know what Punch even looked like. Wow. We're going to call this bitch Mizza. Bitch been miserable going on 2 decades. Wow. Okay. So is Nicki mad at Punch tweeting Broken Barbies, which happens to be a song he's promoting, thinking it was about her? Oh, sir, please tell me you didn't get on here and type this. You can't be this effing stupid. Okay. All right. So let's try to find this tweet. Oh, man, she's going off on SZA. I'm going to try to find the tweet earlier that Nicki Minaj tweeted out. Now, she may say she was not talking about Doechi. Now, remember, there's been a lot of barbs coming at Doechi ever since the whole, you remember when Doechi got that glow up, right? Doechi got that little glow up, after the Grammy and what have you. And a lot of Barbs didn't like the fact that they felt as though she was biting, Nicki's style, right? And then she unfollowed Nicki. So they were saying, you're steady biting Nicki's style and trying to use her as saying her lyrics, right? So a lot of Barbs had smoke for Doechi. Then when the whole thing came out about the Spotify listeners, right? And how she lost 30 million Spotify listeners. So this is why the Doechi fans felt as though Nicki Minaj was talking to Doechi. She said, we're going to call them MTM for missing 30 million. All right? That was her tweet. I'm trying to find it. But her tweet was, see, right here. See? MTM minus 30 million. And that is because they said that Doechi was minus 30 million followers. Y'all do remember that, right? They said that once they did once they funneled out the Spotify, they said Doechi was missing 30 million followers. So when Nicki Minaj tweeted MTM minus 30 million, and that's when the Doechi fans and TDE was saying, oh, she's shading Doechi, and Doechi didn't even say or do anything to her. Now, if Nicki's talking about something else, she said she's talking about something else. But I'm just letting you people know why, because a lot of people are saying, why did Doechi jump in it? I'm not saying she jumped in it rightfully or not, but I noticed everything. So I'm just letting y'all know why Doechi fans feel as though she was coming at her. Right? Plus, they weren't really on good terms any damn way. So I guess she was back talking here. Y'all remember when Doo-Doo on the Beach was feeling his doo-doo? Can somebody explain that? Y'all remember when Doo-Doo on the Beach? I'm going to assume that Doo-Doo on the Beach is Juju on the Beats. Megan's producer. But she says, y'all remember when Doo-Doo on the Beach was feeling his doo-doo? Could somebody please explain what she means about that? Then she said TDE, Tiny Dick Executive. Using bots on the artists. Right. Right, but they specifically mentioned 30 million about Doechi. And then, like I said, the Barbs already didn't like her because they felt as though she used Nicki's likeness, and she's always in videos rapping Nicki songs, and then she goes and unfollows Nicki, and then she ended up winning the album of the year, the rap album of the year. And a lot of the Barbs wasn't feeling that, and they were saying that they felt as though that Rock Nation was behind her as well. But Rock Nation doesn't matter to, I think TDE does. But the Barbs feel as though Rock Nation is behind everybody. So because of Kendrick, because Jay-Z put Kendrick on the Super Bowl stage, they feel as though, Rock Nation is pushing Doechi out there, you know, but she's not managed by Roc Nation. But that was the what everybody was thinking. That's what the Nicki fans were thinking. That Roc Nation was behind pushing Doechi out there, you know, in order to, you know, try to downplay what Nicki was doing. So she says here, so glad I have proof of being bullied by and being lied on by a man publicly on a platform I use for my job after I rejected his business proposition on more than one occasion. So I'm assuming she's talking about Punch. I'm assuming she's talking about Punch. But you see, here's when I have the problem. So she says here, he failed to disclose to the public that I had rejected his business proposition and thereby acted in what appears to be retaliation, purposely used to cause financial damage and to engage in a smear campaign against the brand. So once again, if I don't know like what Nicki's referring to, but if she has proof of this, again, take their ass to court, right? Now, she says stuff about the men, right? She's being bullied by a man or what have you. A lot of people have a problem with this. You know, they're going to throw their words back in their face. Oh, you're calling a black woman ugly. She said to SZA, shut up, ugly. I'm in a meeting, so I don't know if you were still talking S or not. So if you didn't, I'll delete later, 304. Now, she said, BTCH damn near broke that man back and leg. She's referring to the guy that tried to lift SZA up that time on performing, and he kind of like stumbled. B is fat, chubby, and skinny at the same damn time. Boy. B, where are those 30 million streams that disappeared on Spotify? Like your F freckles. Now, SZA's streams didn't disappear. That's so I don't know what she's talking about that. Botting tweets when you arguing is just as weird as SZA. Now, I believe that SZA.
Good night. Can you tuck me in? Later?
Yeah, in a little bit. I believe that SZA tweeted something like, somebody said, yeah, you on a tour where you aren't the headline or something. And then I believe SZA tweeted something that said, oh, she's the only person since Tina Turner and maybe Whitney Houston or something like that to gross $100 million on a solo tour or something like that. And SZA tweeted that, responding to a person. So the Nicki came and said, wait, does SZA think she's more successful than me? Never said that. He never said that, Nick. Does SZA think she's more successful than me? Y'all catch me up, please. SZA, if every song you've ever done vanished right now, the music business wouldn't even miss you. I don't know about that, but I've been to countries that never heard of you. That's probably true. I know you're not that stupid, are you? Stadiums, did you look at the venue I played on my own headline festival tour out of the country last year? B, have you ever headlined to 80K people? B, what have you ever done besides yodel with auto-tune that needed retuning? Boo, I'm an icon. You're not. The end. Pay that man for almost breaking his back. what that shows is that Nicki spends a lot. She spends as much time on the internet as me, because she sees everything. That means she sees everything on the internet. Nicki spends a lot of time on the internet because she don't miss nothing. The end. Pay that man for almost breaking his back. Why didn't you speak up when your exec was bullying and harassing me? You dirty mangy. See you next Tuesday. These botted numbers on all platforms have y'all losing y'all MF mind. You the type that would have been quiet in school trying to fit in. You still have no clue who you are. I know you went nights without washing that musky face. Be how you remember exactly where every freckle go. Justice for Demaray. And she keeps on throwing in this Demaray Hadley. And then she brings in Desiree Perez. Desiree, we want to discuss your daughter's lawsuit. I mean, I don't understand what Desiree has to do with SZA. B put out a whole new album as a deluxe to an already existing album that was out for like 2 years. So, then they're bringing up old tweets. I don't get it neither. Rihanna or Ciara can hold a note worth a damn. One's just worse than the other. So that's 2011. So she says, so what's the beef? So a lot of people do that. If you go to Twitter back in the early 2000s, before people really blew up, you're going to find a lot of tweets. People have been exposed with that a lot. Before people made it famous, you'll find a lot of tweets of them dissing people who they admire now, or who are in their, not in their circle, but are their peers now. Because back then, I'm sure people never thought that they would be this famous, right? You see that all the time with people. People putting tweets up. She had a tweet about Beyonce here one time. Beyonce looking more and more like Madonna every day. Could have swore she was black at one point. Just saying. That was 2011. So all these things are coming back to you. Then she said, Nicki got a problem coming up fast. Shorty right here goes hard. Iggy Azalea. She said Nicki had a problem because Iggy Azalea was coming. Oh, baby. And here Armand, you know he's got to jump in it. You know Armand's got to jump in it. She just said, Armand, where's your baby oil? Like I said, Nicki don't miss anything. So the question is, now that, so this is what I don't understand. I understand Nicki's rants, and you can't really call them rants right now, but Nicki said she is to the point. So this is where, like I said, I don't have a problem with Nicki's rants, but this is where I kind of have to look at her side eye and say, but wait a minute. Because Nicki posted, I don't even want to argue with women. I'm at the point now where all I want to argue with is men. Well, hold on now. Hold on now, Nick. Didn't you say I'm not arguing with men? You don't come at a woman. Talk to my husband. Isn't that what Nicki said? I believe when she said that, when she married Kenneth Petty, she said, now all you men, I'm not arguing with no man. Talk to my husband. Anybody that address, that's what she told academics as well. Anybody that wants to address me, talk to my husband. Now she says, I don't even want to argue with women. I want to argue with men. So I thought that you got Kenneth Petty to argue with the men so the men can address you. Remember around the time where Joe Button was coming at her, Charlemagne, Meek Mill, like a lot of males were coming at her, and she said, you have to address my husband. So no man be addressing no woman. But I guess she's changed her mind now, and she says, I just want to address men and cuss them out. And cuss men out now. So the only thing about that is Jay-Z is probably not going to respond to a woman. He's probably not going to respond to a woman. Right? So it's, thinking that Jay is going to respond back, I don't think that's going to happen. Remember, she had came at Kanye before. Kanye didn't really respond back. So when she goes at the men, and I'm glad that the men, don't respond back to her. I don't want to see a man, bullying Nicki or what have you. I don't want to see a men arguing with women. Like, I don't want to see that. Right? This is what they want to release music, speak on me or about me at your own risk. When I'm discussing the abuse I've suffered at the hands of any man, if you, a woman, choose to get in the field, you're going to leave bloody. So I guess she's talking about SZA jumping in, right? Whew. So what do y'all think about all of this? Do you think SZA said she was saying something about the Metrogate, Mercury retrograde? Don't take the bait. LOL, silly goose. I don't really know what the hell is SZA talking about. Metrogate, don't take the. What is she talking about? Does anybody know what SZA's talking about? What's up, Jamina? Does anybody know what SZA's talking about? Horoscope? Because I really don't understand. I don't know what, SZA's weird to me anyway. And, I personally don't like the way she treated Drake. I think when she wanted to use Drake's likeness and got all up in the video and this, that, and the third, I felt as though she would be nice to Drake. But then when the whole thing with Kendrick, and remember, Drake kind of saved her from Academics' rant. Well, I mean, didn't Academics have her crying or something? And Drake went in and said, get off of SZA. And he left SZA alone because of what Drake said. And then you kind of like turned on him with the whole Kendrick Lamar thing. I don't really know if she turned on him, but you were so-called cool back with Drake, and then next thing you know, you were rocking with Kendrick Lamar. But again, who knows? We are currently in Mercury retrograde where bad things happen. Marcel said, I do not know what SZA was talking about. No, me neither. So where does everybody stand? Am I off base here? Where does everybody stand as far as Nicki Minaj and Rock Nation, Nicki Minaj and Desiree Perez, and Nicki Minaj and SZA And do you think she was dissing Doechi? So everybody can put down in the comment section what they think. I mean, I know Barb's, it's really hard for them to call Nicki out. And they'll say, oh, I think it's funny. Oh, I think it's entertaining. You know, but again, SZA's pretty popular, right? Is she as popular as Nicki Minaj? Of course not. But it's going to look like she's bullying SZA and picking on SZA because SZA pretty much stays out of the mix. A lot of people are saying, why is she going off on SZA like that? Right? So she's going to be looked upon as a bully. And when it's going to be a point where really only Nicki fans are defending, which I'm sure she don't care. Nicki Minaj will take on the whole crew. You know, she has to. But as far as Jay-Z, Beyonce, you know, a lot of her fan base are saying, well, we don't have a beef with Beyonce. She has a beef with Jay-Z. That's not the way it works. And y'all know it isn't. I think what y'all are trying to do is stay away from direct attacking Beyonce directly, because that's a fight she's not going to win in the long run, right? That's a fight in the long run, because most of the people who are casual, if they see Nicki Minaj and Beyonce fight, people that are casual fans, they're going to side with Beyonce. Of course, the Nicki fans will side with her. Taylor Swift fans will side with Nicki Minaj. But there's more casual fans than anything. And for the ones that see, oh, shit, Beyonce doesn't bother anybody. Beyonce doesn't respond to anybody. Why is she bullying Beyonce? Why is she picking on Beyonce? So I think, and plus her fan base is huge. While I think that right now it's more either even or Nicki's fan base is bigger, at least on Twitter. Maybe not worldwide, but at least on social media, where it used to be the Beehive used to run social media, but now the Barbs run social media. So wherein Beyonce's fans used to be the biggest around the world and the biggest on social media. But now I feel as though the Barbs on social media are a more engaged fan base, and a lot of the Beehive have kind of took the lead of Beyonce and got off of social media. A lot of them, right? Wherein Nicki, that's her stomping ground. So if she spends a lot of time on Twitter, her fan base is going to be on Twitter. If she goes to station head, her fan base is going to go to station head, because she spends a lot of her time online. So that's where her fan base is going to reside. And I kind of think like the Beyonce fan base, you know, they're getting older. Her fan base was always old. She, you know, Beyonce's got young fans too. But as Beyonce gets older, her fan base kind of like stops, and it has a limit. Where Nicki, you still see teenagers that are Barbs, right? Even though she's 41 or what have you, she still has 16-year-old fans, 15-year-old fans, 17-year-old fans, where Beyonce, to me, really don't have that anymore, right? Her fan base seems to be growing older with her, right? So you're going to see her fan base come out when she goes and does these stadiums and goes around the world and stuff like that. You'll still see the Beehive come out, because they're still going to support. Like, I know people that I've been knowing all my life that are Beehive, and they don't miss a Beyonce concert. And it don't matter how much, and they're not rich neither. It don't matter how much them tickets cost. They there. right? But they're just not on social media like that because they know Beyonce doesn't spend any time on social media, right? So where do y'all think that's going as far as the whole Jay-Z thing? And what would you like to see happen, right? Now, also, Beyonce's Robbery, right? So let me put this in here. Beyonce's Robbery. So everybody knows by now that last week, when before Beyonce started her 4 shows in Atlanta, her car, well, one of her choreographers' car was robbed. And in that car, there were valuable music, there was unpublished music, right? There was set lists. Now, a lot of people, I have to put on my tinfoil because I have to cover all bases. Remember when Kim Kardashian first got robbed in Paris? A lot of people thought it was staged and they thought it was fixed, right? Even though Kim came back and told about somebody holding a gun to her, a lot of people thought it was staged to garnish up attention. Well, that's where I've seen some people go with this Beyonce thing. And I'll explain to you what I mean. As silly as it sounds, there are some people who believe this is fake. There's some people that believe that Beyonce didn't really get robbed, but she knows that the Romare T is coming out, and he's close to, according to people, they say he's close to the truth coming out. And if he is revealed as Jay-Z's son, that means Jay-Z will have to face him. He won't be facing probably any trouble because the woman, unfortunately, is passed on. But he will be facing the humiliation and the knowledge of people knowing if this is your son, that means you undoubtedly slept with an underage girl. Then that will bring up all the stuff that he got dismissed with Tony Busby. People will then start saying, well, you know what? Why don't we believe this? This isn't out of the realm of possibility because he slept with a 16-year-old when he was 22, 23. So why is it out of the realm of possibility? And people still think, regardless of how many times Foxy Brown says it didn't happen, people still think he slept with Foxy Brown at a young age, even though Foxy's denied it. And even though he's denied it. For some strange reason, people throw Aaliyah into that mix. Nicki did that one time. And Aaliyah was when Aaliyah was 15, she was with R. Kelly. So I don't know where people get that Aaliyah was underage when she was dating or not dating Jay-Z or when she was friends with Jay-Z. I know a lot of people say that, oh, Aaliyah, what about what he did to Aaliyah? And what about what he did to Foxy? But Aaliyah, if she dated Jay-Z, now Aaliyah's come out and said her and Jay-Z was just close. She never dated Jay-Z, right? But if you want to say that you don't believe Aaliyah and that she dated Jay-Z, she was 20 years old when that happened. So I don't really get the whole, yeah, look what he did to Aaliyah thing. He's dating young girls. And then they say Rihanna, right? But at one point, people were saying Rihanna never dated Jay-Z. But then they say, well, Rihanna, she was 16. And they keep bringing up this video of Rihanna saying Jay-Z threatened to throw her off a building. Now, y'all know people want to take things so literally. But y'all know that, that Jay-Z was just joking, right? But because it's Jay-Z and people want to make him out to be this evil demon, right? What's her name? Rihanna, right? Let me see if I can find it. Jay-Z sign. So there was this clip, I believe it was with Tyra Banks, right? I believe it was with Tyra Banks. 16-year-old Rihanna. Jay-Z kept 16-year-old Rihanna till 3 a.m. and forced her to sign with him. Rihanna said to Tyra Banks, there's two ways to leave here. Either through that door with a signed deal or out that window. And we're on the 29th floor. Now, Rihanna said this to Tyra, and Rihanna was laughing when she said it. But people want to take that literally, like Jay-Z would really throw her off the 29th floor. I think this is the clip. Let me see here. Let me see.
We don't sing songs here, we sing artists. And there was this little pause, and I was nervous. But then he said, and we're interested. And there's this sudden feel of relief. But then he said something about a window and a door or something. Oh, then he said, he said it whole word. I did a lot of homework on you this lady. He said, there are two ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal sign or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor.
The diva Rihanna. She's from Barbados?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's Bayesian.
Okay, she's Bayesian. How did you come in contact with her? I mean, did you fly over there?
No, Jay Brown had actually bought me the song. She had a song right now that's I wouldn't say massive because of her rules when I first heard the song. And then, you know, he kept going, Jay Brown, he kept being persistent. I was like, you know what, bring her by.
Mm-hmm.
And when she walked into our office, I was like, you know, she just had, it was just something about her. It was just, she had this, you know, it was just something about it. And then she performed the song, and I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then, you know, we sat down and we talked, and they were talking about how she would stay in the studio and try to get the verse over, and then come back the next day. I was like, oh, work ethic,
okay.
Everything is there. So we signed. That night. We didn't let her leave the office.
Really?
The 3 a.m. was when that contract got signed. So from the meeting around 3, 4 in the afternoon, mm-hmm. we signed it by 3 a.m. Wow. That day I was absolutely certain.
That's what a lot of people are talking about with Jay-Z and Rihanna, and they're saying, oh yeah, he said that he forced Rihanna to sign with him and said if she didn't sign, he was going to throw her out the 29th floor. Now, I'm sure Rock Nation has not signed everyone. I'm sure there has been some people that have turned down Rock Nation, right? And the people that turned down Rock Nation, I'm sure Jay-Z did not throw them off the 29th floor. That would be murder, and Jay-Z would be in jail. Because someone is going to see someone flying off the 29th floor to their death. Right? I mean, like, you guys have to stop being so silly. But again, because they want Jay-Z out to be this monster, oh, look, Jay-Z said he was going to throw off the 29th floor. So they put they put Rihanna into it as far as saying Jay-Z was the younger woman, the younger girl, whatever. So this whole thing, if the reason why I got into that is this whole thing with the Beyonce robbery, a lot of people are saying they believe that Beyonce is just doing this to try to take distract people from knowing that her husband is getting ready to get put on blast for sleeping with an underage girl and getting her pregnant. And that's the woman who is no longer with us. Now, there has already been 911 calls, right? The guy sounded frantic on the phone. So let's try to find that 911 call. Beyonce robbed 911 call, right? And as silly as it sounds, people do really believe that, especially Bob's. They're saying, oh, Nicki got her foot on her neck, and they're just making, they robbed Beyonce and took all the shit out of her car, including unreleased protected music she recently completed. Karma, you Bama scallywag. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Capturing the moment a man who told police he's Beyonce's choreographer.
This is the guy.
Says someone broke into his car, stealing multiple items, including.
Man, called a Bama scallywag. Wow.
Hard drive.
People really
containing the superstar's unreleased music.
And it's really important information in there. Like I work with someone who's like of a high status.
Authorities hunting for that suspect as Beyonce closed out the Atlanta leg of her Cowboy Carter tour overnight. Christopher Grant and DeAndre Blue, who told police they're Beyonce's choreographer and dancer, said just after 8 p.m. July 8th, someone broke into their Jeep Wagoneer, parked at this parking garage in Northeast Atlanta, and took 2 suitcases. According to the incident report, the thieves broke the trunk window, making off with 5 jump drives. That's the same as a flash drive, containing watermarked music and some unreleased music, footage plans for the show, and past and future set lists. Grant and Blue told police laptops, designer clothing, and a pair of AirPods Max headphones were also stolen.
It's an automatic surprise to think that something from Beyonce could be just taken so quickly, because with Beyonce, everything is always so lock and key. Everything is under high security.
The incident happening just 2 days before the singer was set to begin the first of her 4-night stint in Atlanta. And for fans, this concert's been a family affair. Daughter Blue Ivy and Rumi joining the singer on stage. Even husband Jay-Z making a surprise appearance.
This morning, everyone in the music industry is going, where are my unreleased tracks? Investigators telling ABC News they have issued an arrest warrant for a suspect, but they have not made the arrest yet.
So, they have issued a warrant for the arrest of this person who stole Beyonce's stuff. Now, I did a video. Y'all can check the video out. I already did a video on this. Y'all can go to the IE network and look up on the videos, and you can see. Now, listen, I know that celebrities are crazy, right? And I know in Hollywood that there's a lot of things that aren't as they seem, and I know a lot of things that people believe are staged and what have you. But I just don't think this is one of them, because I just don't feel as though Beyonce would, and judging from the guy on the phone, he sounded really frantic, like, oh my God, I'm going to get fired. I am going to get fired. Right? That's the way he sounded to me. He didn't sound like somebody who was planning something. Now, another conspiracy is because that is the choreographer, Christopher Grant is his name. The other guy was a dancer, DeAndre Blue. Now, DeAndre Blue, he has allegedly had some issues, right? I'm not going to say criminal issues, but he is much more out there than Christopher Grant. Christopher Grant is a professional. He's worked with a lot of stars. So what a lot of people are saying is DeAndre Blue is the one who tried to set up Christopher Grant, and he had someone come and rob them, because how would anyone know exactly where they were and to go into their car and look into the back seat and get all of those things? It seems like they knew exactly what they were looking for, because they busted out the back window, right? They didn't bust out the front window. They busted out the back window, right? And usually when people rob cars, they bust out the front window and look into the front seat first. Now, they're saying either somebody saw them and followed and was following them from the beginning, and they saw those things and saw them put that in the car, or someone knew exactly what they were looking for. And they're saying if it was any of the two that had anything to do with it, we'd bet on DeAndre Blue. We bet DeAndre Blue more than we would bet on Christopher Grant. Right? So let's see. Let's see if I can find a picture of Christopher Grant. I mean, of DeAndre Blue. DeAndre Blue dancer. Let's see. So this is DeAndre Blue looks like. Trying to pull it up on, I guess this is Instagram. This is this DeAndre Blue character. So it look like he's danced with Shakira. Here he is. So according to people, he has had some issues. Like, they didn't say, person I was talking to didn't really say what it was. They weren't saying that he was a criminal or anything like that, but they were saying he was more of a street guy than Christopher Grant. Because I believe Christopher Grant, Christopher Grant is a well-known choreographer, right? So this is the guy who was with Christopher Grant. It was a scheme set up by Todd. Quick photo shoot with Destiny's Child or whatever, please. Definitely unemployment in his future. It was a scheme set up by Todd. Todd who? As if Bey can't stage something bigger if she really wanted to distract us. Blue Ivy hairline or something like that. Well, we know Jamina, she's the resident Beehive member. Oh, that's a running joke. Oh, my bad. My bad. I'm out of the loop. I'm out of the loop, Nicki. Just for the record, nobody's scared of Nicki. Everyone knows she is a coward. Mimi, I don't know about that. Underage gave birth. What did her parents do? Good point. But crazy. First live I'm catching in months. Missed you guys and have. Yes, Jamina, we missed you too. I'm glad to see you back. As if Tierra Marie wasn't waiting next door to get signed. Yeah, people saying he slept with Foxy age 15. They both denied it. Right, so Foxy Brown has denied that over and over again, that she slept with Jay-Z. Now, Foxy Brown isn't really, she's being very cautious about denying that she slept with Jay-Z, period. But what she's denying is when she was underage, they never went that route. But I haven't really heard her deny that at some point they slept together. Because didn't she say that on a record? Oh, people thought it was Nas or AZ, but on the low, the real N-word was Jay-Z. I could have sworn she said that on a record. She said people swore I was effing Nas or AZ, but on the low, the real N-word was Jay-Z. So, and then I do remember Foxy really getting in her feelings around the time Jay started messing with Lil' Kim and started doing records with Kim. He put Kim in his music video, and Foxy was really tight about that. Remember he had Kim in, I Just Wanna Love You. And Kim was sitting side by side by Jay. And there was a rumor that Jay was trying to sleep with Kim, but from what I hear, Kim never slept with Jay-Z. Now, I don't know whether that's true or not. I know she was in a couple of videos of his. She did a couple of records with Jay-Z, right? So, who knows? Think it was an inside job? I tell you, Nicki, I'm not going to rule that out, that it wasn't an inside job, but I will rule out, in my opinion, I don't think Beyonce had anything to do with it, right? I just don't think that they'll get that pressed. And I think she would find something else. I didn't even think that Kim Kardashian, I didn't think for 1 minute that Kim Kardashian set up that robbery. I mean, she really got robbed, right? But I don't believe the robbery was staged as far as, Beyonce staging it. I believe that it may have been an inside job. Either one of them two dancers set it up, or somebody else in the clique set it up that knew. They're issuing arrests, so I'm going to be interested in seeing exactly who they arrest. It's going to be interesting. And find out, remember with Kim Kardashian, it was just somebody who saw her on the internet. Remember, Kim was flashing her diamonds over there, and they were saying that oh, we saw her flashing her diamonds on the internet, and we thought she was too cocky, and we just wanted to let her know, right? I hate when there's hair up my nose. Hate it. Hate hair up my nose. So, Nicki said definitely unemployment in his future. Good morning, Couture. Good morning. So we've covered that, and I believe that the Beyonce robbery, I don't believe it was staged, but I'm not ruling out that it was an inside job. I believe that those people who robbed Beyonce, who robbed those guys in the backseat, I believe they know exactly what they were looking for. And I'm not ruling out this DeAndre Blue fella, having Christopher Grant set up. I'm not going to rule that out. But I definitely don't believe that Beyonce saying, hey, this Jay-Z thing with his stepson is getting ready to come out. Let's stage a robbery to take people's mind off it. Like, I just don't see that at all. Now, let's move on to MTS. So, Megan is outside with her new boo thing. Klay Thompson, my boy Klay, shout out to Klay Thompson. I know Klay. Klay's a good guy. I guess I know Klay. I've met Klay maybe like 3 times. So I don't know him, but I've met him multiple times. And he's a really good guy. And I'll put it like this. I like him for Megan. I don't know if I like Megan for him. And I'll tell you why I say that. I just think Megan is too dominant for Klay Thompson. Klay is very non-confrontational. He's, very laid back. Now, where it may work is that Klay's never going to stop. You see him like where the other guys are trying to run to the, try to run, avoid the camera, try to make it seem as though like they're not together. Or Klay is there. He wants people to know that they're together. He holding the door for her, right? He's not letting her get in one side of the car and he get in the other side of the car. He's holding the door for her. He's being like she's sitting there during his live, not showing his face. You see how how with Nicki, whenever she bring Kenny in, Kenny gotta make sure he poking his little beady eyes out. Gotta make sure people see that Nicki's sitting on his lap. Klay sat there and he was like, I don't need nobody to see my face. I got this big fat ass on my lap. I don't care whether nobody sees my face or not. And he didn't try to make it known to people, hey, look at me, Megan Thee Stallion sitting on my lap. So that's where Klay will be balanced out with her. He won't try to get in her way. He's not the type of dude, at least from what I've seen, that will try to stop her bag. I'll try to be the show, right? But I don't know, and I don't mean man enough. I don't know if he's alpha enough for Megan. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, she had an alpha guy and it didn't work out. Right? Party wanted to seem like he was alpha, because Partisan made it seem like he's alpha because of his size. But there's more to being an alpha than, and Klay's actually taller than Partisan, but he's not as thick as Partisan. But there's more to being an alpha than just being able to throw your girl around or give her a piggyback ride, right? So I'm interested to see where this whole Megan and Clay thing goes. But let's see here. Dun, dun, dun. She was on Instagram and she was, I guess, unwrapping gifts. And he bought her some gifts, some gift bags, and she was taking them out on Instagram. And she really, when she took the picture the other day and everybody saw him in the background, they were like, okay, so did she just happen to go to an island and Klay Thompson just happened to be there? Because remember, Klay Thompson has pictures with Tory Lanez. He has pictures with Tory Lanez. Now, I'm not saying him and Tory Lanez are friends, but he had more than one picture with Tory Lanez. So now a lot of people are trying to call Klay Thompson out and say, oh, he backstabbed Tory. Now, he knows Tory used to mess with Megan. Right? A lot of people, when they want Meg to look bad, they say Tory used to mess with Meg. All right, but I thought Tory was messing with Kelsey, and Megan just went and he was just screwed around behind Kelsey's back. Now, when you want Megan to look bad, you say, oh, he was dating Megan, and now here's Klay Thompson. So here's these two in dinner, New York together. Look at the smile on his face. They're cute together, right? They're cute together. I think they're cute together. What y'all think? At least so far. And then everybody wants to talk about, oh, I wasn't familiar with your game. Well, Klay Thompson's is into the melon now. He's into the melanated. That's the women he dated. Y'all didn't know he dated Coco Brown, did y'all? Or messed around with Coco Brown. I don't know how long they dated. I don't know whether it was called dating, but they were humping. And like I said, in Hollywood, if you fucking, you dating. Right? Megan Thee Stallion on Klay Thompson's arm. Look at the way he's leading. You see, I like that. I like that you can tell a lot from a picture. Remember how I used to say a picture's worth 1,000 words? You see, there ain't no her coming out ahead of him. A$AP Rocky does that. I hate when A$AP Rocky does that. A$AP Rocky, this is your woman. Like Rihanna, you got kids, and then too many times I've seen A$AP like walking 2 feet ahead of Rihanna, or Rihanna's walking ahead of him. Well, I'm like, dude, or she gets in the side. He don't even open the car door. She gets in, and then he gets in. I'm like, bro, everybody knows you're together. Like, you acting like don't nobody know you're together now. And he does that too much for me, especially for a woman you about to have your 3rd kid with. Right? Let's try to see. Let's see here. Stefon Diggs. See, Stefon is way different than Clay. You know what I mean? Like, Stefon is number one, Stefon Diggs, whether he is with you or not, Stefon's a flirt. And Cardi, if Cardi can deal with that's cool. I'm sure she knows that Stefon's a flirt. And we could tell from them being on the boat, when he's telling the girl to say, well, no, what's my name? He wants the girl to call him daddy, so he's just a natural flirt, right? But again, if Cardi B can deal with that, right? I'm sure she's known about Stefon. Here's some more pictures of these two. once again, he's walking and leading her behind, like he's leading her, holding her hand. Right? And Megan likes the dudes that you know, because Megan's 5'11". When she's got heels on, she's over 6 feet. And Klay Thompson, look whose page that's on, right? Comparing the walk. Oh, okay, I got you. Klay Thompson putting it on his page. He's putting it on his page. Go ahead, Klay Thompson. Boinking Megan Thee Stallion. Okay, boy, I'd be. So here's the clip. I believe this is the clip of her. We're just going to show a little bit of it. I'm not going to show the whole thing. But I remember she was like, oh, my man bought me this. My man. Thank my man. Thank you to my man. And then my man, thank you to my man. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's how I go. I cannot believe my man got me these baboons. Okay. Let's see what we got.
Can somebody please tell me what the hell that is and why she's so excited?
Okay, first one.
I'll get into Russell Wilson. I'll tell you something about Russell Wilson, Nicki, in a minute. What the hell is that Megan is
My
going
coochie
so
is
crazy?
screaming.
Megan acting like she got a Chanel bag.
La Boo Boo, number 2.
La Boo Boo. What are these things that Klay got her? Can somebody please explain to me what that is?
La Bisha.
Are these things expensive or something? Like, what is this? What are they, like collector's items? Like, what? What? Somebody explain that. Couture? Oh, okay. Couture said those dolls are expensive. Okay, got you. I was about to say it has to be. Okay. I see you, Klay, with the expensive dolls. All right.
This is the one I wanted.
Got you a fine woman. So obviously they've been kicking it for a minute. And Klay, as I told y'all before, Klay with that looks similar, even though he's not mixed. Is Travis Kelce mixed? I don't think Travis Kelce's mixed, but Travis Kelce, remember, he tried to kick it to Megan Thee Stallion, right? At the Country Music Awards. This is a couple of months before he got with Taylor Swift. So it is fair for me to say that if Megan Thee Stallion would have showed him some rhythm or gave him some rhythm, he would have never been with Taylor Swift. We would be talking about Travis Kelce and Megan right now, or maybe we'll talk about them breaking up. But right before Travis Kelce met Taylor Swift, He tried to kick it to Megan Thee Stallion a couple of months before. And he looked like that. Like he had a green suit on. He had his hair cut in a fade. He don't look like the Travis Kelce like now. He looked like the wigger Travis Kelce. He had his hair cut in a fade. He had a green suit on. And that's when he had his beard dyed like brownish red. And, he allegedly, paid for Megan's flight, took her dinner, had her meet him for dinner. So, but Megan was like, she wasn't looking for anything serious at that time. I just don't think she really liked Travis Kelce like that. But as an ex-witch, Tamina says, as an ex-witch, I'm not against the idea. Hate them dolls, but if someone else likes them, good for them, I guess. So what is it with those dolls? Ain't no demons. Jamina, yes, and allegedly have demons in them. And then Jamina, you say, as an ex-witch? But you're against demons. But as an ex-witch, so was you like a good witch? It's a popular toy, a la boo-boo. Okay, Couture know what she talking about. Tamina said as an ex-witch. Okay. So the conspiracy theory is those dolls have demons in them. I want you to keep that same energy if Beyonce pop over one now. I want you to keep that same energy, sis. Okay, look, Couture, see why I learned something new. That's why I have y'all in here, because I would have never knew. I just see she going crazy over it. So I kind of figured they must be a lot of money. Right? It must be a lot of money. Okay. I hear you. So what do y'all think of Klay Thompson and Megan Thee Stallion? Thumbs up or thumbs down? What y'all thinking? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Megan and Klay Thompson. What y'all think? You like them as a couple? You don't like him for Meg? Or you don't like Meg for him? Mimi says thumbs up. All right. Thumbs up if y'all like Megan and Klay. Thumbs down if you're like, they mess. I agree with you, Guitar. I like them because I like Klay Thompson, right? And like I said, he's very non-confrontational. He's very Steph Curry, right? He's very Steph Curry. Like him and Steph are very similar. Now, Klay is much more, of course, bachelor type. Steph been married for a long time. Klay was like, I ain't getting married. Like, he hasn't really thought about marriage, but he's down for. He's had a lot of relationships that were, long lasting, or if you want to call it that. But somebody mentioned Russell Wilson, right? Let me just tell y'all something about Russell Wilson. Somebody said, oh, he seemed laid back like Russell Wilson. Well, Russell Wilson is not laid back. Russell Wilson is very alpha. He's very much. Now, he might be a clean cut, seemingly quiet guy, right? But Russell Wilson is not laid back. He's very, I don't want to call it possessive, but he's very Mark Anthony-ish. Right? You know how with Mark Anthony and J-Lo, like Mark Anthony used to seem like quiet, laid back, but Mark Anthony's very manly. So Russell Wilson's very manly, even though he's quiet, clean cut, not a thug. Trust me, he ain't laid back like that. Like Sierra can't talk slick to him. Not saying he would bust her in the mouth, but she can't talk slick to him. He's the type that'd be like, "What'd you say?" And she'd be like, "Nothing." Right? So him and Clay, even though they may seem to carry themselves similar, nah. Russell Wilson is very demanding. He's more like the stuff he'll say. Like he told Sierra he didn't like her hanging around Kim Kardashian. Like when they first got married. Remember, he stopped. It had to be, they had to be married for a while. Remember, he didn't allow her to do certain music videos. He didn't allow her to do certain music for a long time. It was just until now that they've been married a few years and have a few kids that he allowed her to even do music videos like she's doing now. Right? It took a while. Klay Thompson's not that guy. He's not going to tell Megan, no, don't do that. Right? He's more on the lines of, babe, if that's what you want to do, I support you, you know? Russell Wilson is, even his first girlfriend, remember, Russell was engaged to a white girl before. And even when she got to talking, she was telling people, yeah, he's possessive. He didn't let me go nowhere. He didn't want me to do nothing. And it's funny because a lot of people said the same thing with him and Sierra. Like, oh, he doesn't let you be an artist. Like, you're not an artist anymore. You're just Russell's wife. And the white girl honestly said the same thing. She said, I was into a lot of things, but he just wanted me to be his girlfriend. And he wanted me to stay home and be a stay-home girlfriend. And she said she bypassed a lot of things only for him to not marry her. And did he marry her? He did marry her, but he divorced her. Let me see. Did Russell Wilson, or was he just engaged? Was he married before? Or was he just engaged to that white chick? Yes, he married her. Ashton Meme. They married in 2012 and divorced in 2014. And the divorce came after 2 years of marriage amidst rumors of infidelity. Ay, ay, ay. So, let's see here. This is Russell's first wife. Yeah. So that's Ashton Meme, and that's the one that everybody's always laughing at because when he got drafted, she was like showing all her teeth, like, yes, I'm lit. Like I made it. Like I married me this black man, and now he's gonna be making all this money. I'm set for life, and then 2 years later, they were divorced. And then she later on was talking about, oh, you know, how he was. Now, remember, there was a rumor that she was messing with Golden Tate. Golden Tate is is Russell Wilson's old teammate. There was a rumor she was messing with Golden Tate. But Golden Tate said that wasn't true. Right? He said that's not true. But anyway, we're going to go live tomorrow and discuss the fallout of this whole Nicki thing. We're going to get some more information. I'm going to make videos about it. Make sure you go to the IE Network. I'm going to let y'all go. I don't want y'all to be here too late on a school and work night. Well, it's not a school night. School's out on work night. But we'll reconvene probably on Friday. I'll probably do a live, and then we'll just stream for hours because it's a Friday night. But anyway, I thank y'all for joining me. If you want to support the movement, the channel is hashtag is $ Heaven Hollywood for my Cash App. So, and of course, there's always super chat if you want to just super chat and let YouTube take 50% of that. But anyway, I appreciate y'all spending some time with me, and I'll catch you on the next one.